Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today we're so excited to have you again. Finally, the issue have been resolved. Talking about the request for CBN to bar disbursement of allocation to Rivers State government. The court judgment is finally out, and right now a lot of reaction is just pouring in left, right, center. But first of all, let's give you full details of what the court judgment was like. And the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria to halt further financial allocations to the Rivers State government. The court ruled that funds should not be disbursed until a legitimate appropriation act is passed by a properly constituted House of Assembly. The decision issued on Wednesday by Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik comes after the court found that Governor Siminalayi Fubara handling of the state finances since January went against the Constitution. The judge noted that Fubara's presentation of 2024 budget to a four-member Rivers House of Assembly was not in line with constitutional rules. According to Justice Abdul-Malik, implementing this budget was a gross violation of the 1999 Constitution, which the governor has pledged to uphold. As a result, the court has restricted the CBN, Accountant General of the Federation, Zenith Bank, and Access Bank from allowing Governor Fubara to withdraw funds from the state revenue sources. The development comes amidst ongoing debate about the legitimacy of the state legislative body. That's just the situation right now. And with this development, I think that Fubara has been indirectly hoisted out of office, because what's the significance of a governor if he cannot, disburse funds for the running of the state? So it's an indirect way of kicking him out of office. There is no need for him to sit there as the governor right now. Nigerians have been reacting, and someone here says, budget to legislature that ran away from their party without squabble. I tire for the conscience of nations and leader. Another person here said the governor said he can do without allocation from Abuja, so let's forget it. That's all Nigerians are saying. My colleague is in the house. What do you think will happen right now? Because this move is going to hamper both the local government and also the state government. Just imagine for months the members of the workers in River State cannot get funds, are not being paid their salary. What do you think is the position of the governor right now?
Well, I honestly would love to see how he will react to this. Like you rightly said, not allowing him access to any fund is like literally saying he's useless.
Yes, he's not a governor again.
Yeah, without necessarily impeaching him, he's has been handicapped, and for that reason, you can't pay salaries, you can't, ongoing projects that is going on, you can't do nothing, and of course, the local government chairman cannot receive the allocations. As in, the state will be on standstill.
Exactly.
I would have expected, this is just my personal view now, I would have expected that even if they would do anything, it would have been a case of, okay, fine, INEC be instructed to run within 30 days, hold an election to constitute a full assembly if you feel that the four-man committee is not strong enough, is not big enough. Mandate INEC, if there's no biasness in this whole judgment, mandate INEC to run an election where the likes of Martin Amaewhule and the other 25 lawmakers can contest if they feel they have the people's mandate. And if they get it, they come in. But to literally say they should stop, halt it, you're saying that you can imagine the kind of pains, the kind of hardship that is in the country. And you are telling the whole state.
It's really laughable.
Not to collect. Look, they are literally calling for, what they're calling for?
Anarchy.
And I pray that, one good thing I like about Fubara is that he's not the type that would literally want to react the other way. But I cannot say the same of the likes of Obiokpo local government chairman. I'm talking about Honorable Amaewhule. He will give him ideas. Ideas will come in. Look, I would have preferred a situation where the judiciary will not dabble into this political mess. Yes. Because what they are doing, and they're taking a stand that is almost obvious. Yes. There are other ways that you can still settle this without necessarily stripping Fubara of that is, executive power. Yes. Look at projects are going on every every day, and you're saying halt.
Halt.
And now you're not just saying halt, you're also going to give that order to CBN, and of course, very quickly, just the same way the police quickly, observe the court order of not even giving protection to the people of Rivers during their local government elections. I'm very sure the CBN and co would quickly obey it. But I also pray that when Fubara and the lines will also do their own, it will not be seen as not obeying court order. Because in all sincerity, the likes of Femi Falana did mention just a few hours ago that this whole thing has jurisdictions, and they would have expected that this case be moved. And then Justice Toso said, well, I wouldn't want to join issues with you. Write it in notice in motion. Let's begin to debate it in the court. You just know that they don't want to move it.
Yes, of course.
But they shouldn't forget.
She was emphatic about it, that she doesn't want to move it, Joyce.
They shouldn't forget. You're not referring to things. You're not referring to matters. You're referring to human beings that have emotions, they have feelings, they can feel hunger, they can feel resentment, they can be frustrated. And just a few hours ago, I could still also remember, Asari Dokubo warned, don't do this thing. He was even literally calling on the president, rein in on your minister. With all this whole thing, drama of English speaking and legal gymnastics, it's all boiled out on one thing. Fubara Wike. Raining on him so that a whole state will not go. I can tell you for free that if one governor decides to go the other way of not obeying, the worst case that will happen, they will just say, okay, if he doesn't obey, bring in DSS or bring in police. I can tell you almost for free that the people of Rivers State may decide to stand in and stand for their governor. When they decide to protect their governor themselves, how many people police go bring down? Let's begin to use wisdom. Already Nigeria is tense. There's hunger in the land.
Oh God.
Now, people have money. It's not enough to feed them.
You feed them.
Now
and you are withholding.
Totally.
Sanity. I don't think that any sane person can think of this. Why not call the two parties and say, how can this thing be fixed? No sane person will do this. Do you know what it means at a time like this that everywhere is biting? People can barely feed with their salaries intact. And you sit back and you just wake up and you pass that kind of judgment, which means right now there's not going to be any payment. And those monies that are in Zenith Bank, which possibly they have credited Zenith Bank for them to start, pushing for salaries and all of that, those money has been halted. In other words, no payment of salaries, nothing. Can you bear the heat that will come? Because very soon, Rivers State is going to be a country of its own in Nigeria. That's what we are going to see anytime from now. Rivers State is going to be a country of its own in Rivers State. It happened in Lagos State. We saw it happen in Lagos State. Because right now, the consequence, most people who are, excited about these and all of that, let me give you people an idea of the consequences of this kind of thing. Number one, the consequence is that all the revenues that were being sent, that FIRS was getting from Rivers State, will be halted.
Yes.
He will also have to do his own part. Since you won the country, I am the elected by constitution. He is the elected. He's the elected. Nobody can hoist him out except after 4 years. He's the elected governor of the state. And right now, the next move that we are going to see is that FIRS says they'll shut them down. All the funds that have been paid that they normally remit to the central, there will be no exploration again. A lot of things are going to happen. The president should wake up and jump into this situation and get it settled once and for all.
A state that produces so much. Right now, we depend so heavily on oil. That is a state that remits one of the highest apart from Lagos State. But this one is real oil, not a case of taxation that IGR and the rest. This one is on oil that we totally depend on, and you are telling them not to touch their fund that they generate.
You are blocking them, the state government. They are blocking them.
We get that.
They give out the greatest part.
Environmental pollution.
Now then they suffers.
And now we allow you people to okay, let's all eat derivative. You now say no, remit the money to Central and you will not have your own. Haba. And you people really reasoning this thing. All of us cannot be mad at the same time. Come on, let's reason, because right now as we speak, there's so much hunger in the land. I would have expected that the president, what in now? Then in fact, bring the two parties. Please, it's okay. Whatever the issues, settle it amongst the two of you. Leave Rivers State
alone
out of this.
All right. We'll leave.